Simmons. And when the district did away with the tournament that was named for him, Coach Tobias of Freehold Borough and myself, we started this. And so we played the Jack Cunard game. It used to be the game that we used to, when we weren't in the same division, and we were rotating, it rotated Freehold Borough, Freehold Township. Now we play it at his court. And as I look down here, because it means something to me, pretty much every year from 2012 to 2019, I've asked a group of young men like yourself for a favor, not to lose this one game. This game, I don't care, not this one. And from 2012 to 2019, we have not lost to Freehold Borough in this game or any other game. I thank you for that.
I think you came back.
I then got later in trouble when you guys had no idea. I can't remember who the heck we were playing. We played terrible, but we won. And I walked in the locker room and I said, thank you. And you all looked at me like, what are you talking about, Coach? And I told you a number after that. Remember that or not? Okay. So we wound up winning my 350th game this year. And I thank them for that. And then I later got in trouble from Mr. Bersati when he found out that I didn't tell him. But that's not what this season was about either. So all those great things that you guys were a big part of, I personally thank you for now in front of them. Things that will someday mean more to me than what they mean to me now. Because to me now, this is about you guys. It's what I say every single year. If we choose so, Coach Smith and I will be back next year, and the seniors won't. And you're going out carte blanche. I mean, you guys accomplished almost everything. I got pictures in my cell phone at CBA where it says whatever the score was, 66, 65, 65, 64, whatever it was. And I got that with their brand new dedicated scoreboard. It says Colts in Freehold Township. And I have a dear friend that lives over across the pond, and he's reached out to me several times. For those of you that follow the NBA and are older like Coach Smith and myself, you might remember the name John Crotty. John played at CBA. He was pretty special. He played a place called Virginia, I think. And then he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Utah Jazz for like 15 years. And my friend and I used to go into the Garden, and this other dear friend of the family, Mr. Avalone, used to put me in some really good seats because he was an usher there for God knows how long. And I'd walk in, and Andrew played baseball for Mr. Avalone, and we'd go, and I obviously knew him from growing up with the family, and we'd go, and it was always funny because he had stories and just tell them, and they were awesome. But he would know when John McEnroe wasn't showing up, or he would know when someone wasn't showing up, and he would put Andrew and I in those seats, and we would sit and watch the Knicks, and Crotty was around, but Andrew played for CBA. His name, I actually went in their gym because they started putting stuff up that they never put up before, and there was a 1,000-point banner up. I took a picture of it and I texted it to him. And if it was like whatever time our game ended, 7, 8 o'clock at night, however far in front they are, they probably woke him up. I said, "Don't see your name on the banner." And then I also forwarded him the scoreboard picture. And it's not often you get to talk smack to a CBA kid when it comes to basketball, but he does root for Freehold Township now. Our roots go a lot deeper than his to CBA. But, they're just people, and they're just all over the place, and they're just reaching out. And every time I talk to them, they want me to tell you guys what you did and how proud they are and things along those lines. And he's a short conference guy. He played on short conference championship teams, and he's so proud of you guys. And he's someone that I was in touch with and meant a lot to me. Seeing at state championship games guys like Mike Dermer, who means nothing to you, so next time you're looking at the Hall of Fame, find his plaque, it's up there. Mike's another guy that I grew up with. Bobby Bellitz has reached out, another Hall of Fame plaque that you can look up to. Guys I grew up, it's just guys that goes on and on. But these track officials, and I've been with them for 28 years. I got no clue what their names are. They look like, my grandma Edna or my aunt. I'm like, who? And they're just all coming up and they're congratulating and, wishing you guys all the best, and it was awesome. And coaches, because I guess it was a big deal that I made Marv Levy look good. He actually sent me an email thanking me. For those of you who don't know who Marv Levy is, he was the Buffalo Bills football coach and went 0 for 4 in the Super Bowl. I went 0 for 6 in state championship games. So he was thanking me for that. Until you guys came along, and then he took all his thank yous back because now he's mad at me for winning one. So I didn't win one. You guys won that, and I am so proud of you. What a season. From beatings, Coach said team. And everybody, this question, I can't tell you how many stupid questions people ask. When they tell you there are no stupid questions, they're lying to you. When they come up in my classroom, there aren't any stupid questions because it's about education. But when you're on the street and you're an adult and another adult comes up to you and says, Coach, this is before we go to Trenton, you a little upset? Upset at what? He goes, well, you're 0-6 in this game. Wouldn't you have rather just lost before you got to it to lose again in Trenton?
Seriously?
I can't make this up. I could, but I'm not. So the stuff that's out there that people like there's a lot of times in my life where, oh, that just came out of my mouth. But the things that people say and the things that people do, it makes me really, really, really think, and I want to look at them and say, yeah, you're right, I should have lost the game sooner. And he's just like, thank you. But the questions they ask, and they want me to compare this team to others, and do this to that, and this to that. And Coach Smith said it so well, okay? No, and again, you didn't ask for this, but you're going to get it. No, you're definitely not the most talented group of kids to play together at Freehold Township. You're not. The 07 team is sick, okay? But you're the best team we've ever coached. Because during the 07 season, before the season even started, I got a call. You guys probably recognize the name Brad Brock. He pitches for the Cubs now. He played for us. He coached for us. His brother Brian used to give back by running open gyms before the season. So I got a phone call one night, 10 o'clock, whatever, open gym just ended. Brian goes, Coach, just give me a heads up. Eddie and TJ threw punches tonight. Was I surprised? No. Dealing with it the next morning. So 07, as talented as they were, I didn't enjoy that season until a month later, and even now I look back and it's those stories that I think of first, not the 25 wins. With you guys, when you talk about team, and I talk to a lot of people in the business world, and you get all these people that come out of like Ivy League places that have never played a sport and are just really, really intelligent. And I talk to all these other people, talk to these people in high positions of hiring other people, and they tell me all the time, they'd rather get that kid that played a sport, that experienced that part of life, that have learned those life lessons, that understand the challenges of winning and losing, because you don't always win, you don't always get the trophy. This year we did. And you don't always get everything, but when you're into sports and you understand how a team works, you're set for life. And fellas, you guys understand how team works, period. You guys are awesome. Unbelievable season, unbelievable team. And without a doubt, the best team I've ever coached at Freehold Township. And it's people want to know all the time. They ask me, how would this team match up against the 07 team? And I said, I don't know, it depends which one I coach. I'm just kidding. Because that's that's the reporter asking me. So that's my wise ass answer back saying, why are you asking me this? Can we talk about what these kids have accomplished, not what has happened in the past? And fellas, it's surreal, it's unbelievable. It really and truly is. The run you went on. And people go, is that run through the states? And I'm like, run through the states? Guys, we won 24 games. We lost 5 games. We went on runs all year long. I don't remember losing, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember losing 2 games in a row once. I remember when we lost, we went on another streak. We lost, we went on another streak. We lost, we went on another streak. I remember walking into the office, looking at Coach and going, we got CBA, Marlboro, Homedale, and someone else this week. I can't remember, it might have been whoever it was. I'm like, dude, how are we getting through this week? Or maybe it was the RBC, Tom's River North. Then it was like CBA, and I'm like, be happy we get two out of 4. You know, if we get 1 to stop the bleeding. And we got them all. We just kept getting them and getting them. And every time I had like, how are we going to win this game? And it wasn't about how it's you guys just did. And you guys just continued. And it's not always about winning and losing, but every time there was a speed bump, there was a challenge. The same way I threw a challenge to you guys. Herm, I'm sorry I'm keeping you awake back there, bro. Every time I threw a challenge to you guys, every single time I threw a challenge, I just challenged you to see who's going to play varsity next year, who's going to make the team, who's going to play JV. I threw that challenge to that table. I would challenge them in the locker room, and I would say, my special teams of the past, I used to feel sorry for the next team up after we lost, because we would just go and you guys did that. You took every challenge, every single one of them. And the teams that beat us this year, they were better than us that night. And Newark Eastside, they're just better than us. So with all due respect, I take my hat off to them. Everybody else, you beat teams that were more talented than you. And that's what team is about. And Coach Smith said it, and that's what I want you guys. The JV this year, they took a beating in practice. No ifs, ands, or buts. And sometimes they were a little lazy and they heard about it. And here's the thing. You guys have already given back. You don't even know it. What impressed me the most this year about you was in the blue gym. When I had to stop practice and sit the JV down, in fact, I don't remember, maybe I threw them out. There was just no effort, no heart, no desire. And I said, you know what? I'm done. You talk to them. And each and every one of you, for the most part, seniors, and Zach spoke to, I remember that, because Zach's speech was about the future, because Zach was like, all you guys are leaving me, and I'm going to be left with you guys, and you guys need to be better. But every one of you that spoke, and Ben, your speech stood out almost the most. I'm not going to lie, Ben. I was a little nervous, kind of like Coach Dillon. It's kind of like Coach Dillon. Coach came up to me this year before one of the state games and goes, Coach, can I talk? He goes, I promise I won't say anything stupid. I said, all right, man, go ahead. And it was awesome. When Ben stood up to speak, I had that same, because you guys got a lot in common. And it's not a bad thing. It's not meant in a bad way. You got a lot of personality, and it's meant as a compliment. Trust me, but I wasn't sure where you were going to go. And again, I don't remember everything, but I remember you talking to them and you being direct and you basically calling them out and telling them they can't go like that. I mean, you know, Christian got up and he was Christian. Seth got up and he was Seth. Zach got up and he was Zach. Everybody got up. Greg got up and he was Greg. And when you guys all spoke to them and what you said, because you had been in their shoes, because you had been in that gym as sophomores getting your butts kicked by Weesey, Staklinski, Ziggy, and all those guys who lost the heartbreaker state championship game, who were a top 3 or 4 team in the short conference, who won the WOBM tournament, who won A North. So you guys had been in their shoes. But here was the difference. I never had to stop practice to ask you guys for effort. That's how I knew that 9 and 13 was going to turn into something pretty good. I'd be lying if I thought I'd say 24 and 5 in the state championship. I'd be lying, okay? But yeah, that's what it turned into. And that's what makes me the proudest. You've already given back. You have no idea how much your words meant to them, because it's one thing for me to get up and demand, and it's another thing for him to get up. But when you guys got up and you guys spoke, I was like, I learned something. And I got goosebumps. And I heard a more mature, it just answers why you are the team you are. Because your maturity and your leadership and your dedication to the program just on a whole different level. And I thank you again for that. And someday they'll understand and appreciate, and they'll thank you, because it's going to make a difference for them as well. So thank you so much. That's what I mean about the best team I've ever coached. Because you guys had the chemistry, the bond, and I get it. It goes back to Coach Damien at Eisenhower. It goes back to freshman ball or JV, it goes back. You guys go back. And this is what makes it special. So not all of you are from Eisenhower. Not all of you played on that special team. And then Christian shows up from Howell, and he's accepted immediately. And he's part of it. Gluck shows up, and he's expected immediately. And then here's what makes it even more. You get a sophomore, last year, freshman point guard. And he's accepted and supported immediately. And it just grows and grows. And Jeremy didn't even have to bring pizza into the mix to get you guys to bring him in. It was just there. He could have fed you, but he didn't. That's just how special a group you guys are. And then you got guys like Joe and Jace that added. You guys picked them up, brought them to training. You brought them to RC. You guys just took care of the team. So I'm very proud of you for that. I thank you for that. And now I'm going to ask all you guys to come stand up here and I'll talk about you a little individually.